And welcome again back to another edition of Learning Curve. We got a fantasy football here tonight with the top 5 wide receiver sleepers coming into 2015. Going to hit you with 5 guys I think are going to be underpriced based on situations, whether it's transfers, whether it's coming back off of red shirts, things along that line. Going to hit you with 5 guys. First guy I'm looking at is Devin Lucien from Arizona, transfer from UCLA. Now, here's the deal with this guy. You're going to look at his stats and say, you know what? Why is he going to be one of the top 5 guys when he hasn't really done much? Well, he's never really gotten a shot at UCLA. He's a graduate transfer, and things have opened up at Arizona State due to some injuries and graduations. So here's the deal. Arizona State, he's got a relationship with the quarterback over there, and he originally was going to going to Arizona State when he first came out of high school. So comes back, he's highly motivated. He's got one more year of football left, and I think this is a kid who he's going to be way under the radar early on in the season. His price is going to be extremely cheap, and I'm looking at him as being a guy who I'm really going to look at. Just keep in mind, make sure he's going to be one of the starting wide receivers on Arizona State. If he lands one of the starting jobs, which I think he should, I think he's got the potential to be a huge breakout at the salary that he's going to come in at. The next guy I'm looking at is Robbie Rhodes from Bowling Green. I remember this guy when he was at Baylor. He was a 5-star recruit. What that means is he was a top recruit coming out of high school. He was actually the number 3 rated wide receiver coming out of high school. He got into some trouble at Baylor. He got dismissed from the team. He had to sit out. Now he's back and he's at Bowling Green. Really good situation at Bowling Green. The coach that was at Baylor, the coach was at Baylor, is now at Bowling Green. One of either the wide receiver coach or the offensive coordinator. And that's kind of why they went after Rhodes here. Similar offensive system to what Rhodes had at Baylor. So there's going to be a lot of symmetry there, a lot of similarity. Again, this was a top 3 wide receiver in the country going to Bowling Green. We talked about Matt Johnson in our earlier video for top quarterback sleepers, and they've also got Roger over there, the other kid, the freshman left from last year, the other wide receiver that blew up. So I think a really good spot here. Robbie Rhodes is a guy I'm going to be definitely looking at early on. Now, again, Bowling Green is site-specific, so we got to make sure those games are on the slate. The next guy I'm looking at is one of the hottest freshmen last year that really started to break out. Now, I think he's going to break out even more because this offense is going to change. That's DeMornay Pearson-L out of Nebraska. Kind of like a Tavon Austin type of kid. He's 5'9", he's 175, he's electric, he's like a T.Y. Hilton type of player. Big punt return, kick return kid, and in the slot, and a very electric player. Again, coming in as a sophomore, should be one of the best players in the Big Ten coming out of Nebraska. Gabe Marks is the guy at Washington State. Now, Washington State does throw the ball a ton, and they spread the ball around a ton too, and he's probably going to be one of the 3 or 4 wide receivers there. However, again, with him coming back in as a redshirt last year and coming back in, no more Vince Mailey, no more Isaiah Myers. That's about 185 receptions that are gone. So somebody's got to catch the ball. River Craycraft, Dominique Wilkins, Gabe Marks, all 3 of these guys should do some damage. And he was very productive as a freshman and a sophomore, former 4-star recruit. So the pedigree's there with Gabe Marks, and he should really be motivated to come back this year as well. Last guy we're going to talk about is Deontay McManus from Marshall. Big kid, 6'2", 220. And the thing is just that came out within the last day is Marshall's number 3 wide receiver, Angelo Jean-Louis, has left the program. And so now they've got other guys that are going to step up into that role. However, I think this definitely puts more of an emphasis on a guy like McManus, who did some damage last year and is now going to be a full-time wide receiver. That's going to do it for the top 5 wide receiver sleepers in 2015 for College Daily Fantasy Football. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out all of the other videos in the CFB Learning Curve series, especially if you're new to Daily College Fantasy Football in 2015. Thanks again.